What is life, and why are we so obsessed with perpetuating it when a lot of people are suffering? Why aren't we obsessed with making life better for everyone? For an example, where I live in South Africa, there is no water. There's no water in my village. And in many other villages in South Africa, a lot of people have to struggle to get water. And it has been like that for many years, meaning that the government could have changed this if they really wanted to. But they didn't because there is no money. Yet they've allocated more than 6 billion rand to procure and distribute vaccines. So they are more concerned with making sure that everyone is alive, which shows me that it's not about the quality of life. As long as everyone is alive, it's okay. It doesn't matter if they're suffering. They don't care about that, which is really crazy if you really think about it, because the whole purpose of this should be that people get to enjoy it. If they're not enjoying it, then what is the purpose? Is it for them to be prisoners? Is it for them to be slaves and to be used by the ruling class? What is this about? I can't imagine what it would be like for you, being brought up in a world that doesn't care for you. If I love you, tell me, why will I do that to you? This world is so cruel, I wouldn't lie to you. If this place was good, I would have invited you. You don't see it, but I'm saving you like heroes do. From traumas, from headaches, from heartbreaks, from corruption, from greed and fake outbreaks. And the real ones too, it's better where you are. I know it's tempting, but never be tempted to come. There's nothing real here, kid. All we do is lie, and we lie to ourselves the most. That's how we got here. And the longer we stay, the more lies we invent. This world is a mess, everyone can tell. So I ain't creating no slaves for nobody. I'm rather speak the truth and save you with no worry. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes. I cry sometimes about it. This really hurts me, but if the world was perfect, we'll make it work, but I doubt it. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes. I cry sometimes about it. I know that it hurts, but if the world was perfect. Some people think I'm crazy, some wanna bring you here. They'll tell you that they love you, but they don't really care. They'll hate you till you break and say you're mentally sick. Then give you a bunch of pills that make you mentally sick. A lot of people lie, I'm just keeping it real. Acting like they do, but they don't care how you feel. Many people are in jail cause they were abused as kids, and we all know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Ain't no love yet, many people are full of hatred. They just act like they got your back, like a wheelchair in the wheelchair. When they are staring at your face, but they will tear you apart when you've gone away. I'm trying to save you from this, and they think that I'm selfish, which got me to think they don't know what is selfish. They're bringing keys into a world that is overpopulated. There's no jobs, just wars. This world is overrated, and the 1%, they be running the show, and there's nothing we can do. We just go with the flow. This world is cold, we all on our own journey, so it's okay to feel alone, cause this is not home. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes. I cry sometimes about it. This really hurts me, but if the world was perfect, we'll make it work, but I doubt it. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes. I cry sometimes about it. I know that it hurts, but if the world was perfect. Imagine if I brought you to this stupid red race. Wait, we chasing money, boys, girls every day. Chasing love like you know what it is. Like it's not just a chemical reaction that compels you to breathe. More slaves for the masters, motivated by greed. Where they tell you that you are, but nobody is free. We're in a prison planet, nobody can live. Real, and they act like this life is easy. Kids are dying, politicians are lying. Mother Earth is crying, animals are sighing. There's no compassion, there's no understanding, there's no hope, there's too much corruption. We all are trying, but we can't cope. So why bring it to hell if I can save you from it? Some don't see that it's hell, so they settle for it. And me, I've seen the truth, so I became an internatalist. I love you to death, that's why I'm bringing you to life. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes about it. And this really hurts me, but if the world was perfect, we would make it work, but I doubt it. And I ain't too proud to tell you that I cry sometimes about it. This really hurts me, but if the world was perfect, we would make it work, but I doubt it. What scares me the most about life is that we are victims of evolution. It compels us to do things that we don't want to do, and if we refuse, it tortures us. For an example, if you decide that you're not gonna date anyone, especially as a guy, you will get horny sometimes, and that's torture, man. That's torture. And that's your body telling you that you gotta do something about it. That's your body telling you that you've got to reproduce straight up. And after ejaculating, that's when you get to feel bad. That's when you get to feel normal. Yeah, because the whole thing is evil, man. That's why I believe that doing the opposite of what evolution compels us to do is a good thing, considering how evil this world is. If we weren't compelled to reproduce, none of us would reproduce. Because we must understand that there are lots of chemical reactions in your brain that makes you want to breed, right? And also when a female is pregnant, there's this hormone called oxytocin that gets released so that she'll love the whole thing it's just nature manipulating us. It's just evolution actually wanting to continue. You see, it's not really what we want. So fighting against this evil, I think it's a necessary thing, considering how messed up the world is, because we all can see that. I don't believe that we don't see that, you see, but we are victims. It's like being addicted to drugs. You can see that these drugs are destroying you, but you're so addicted that you just be like, yo man, whatever. And if there are no people to tell you that, yo man, we think you need to change, if they don't organize an intervention for you, you might not really care. You might not really care. So I feel like antinatalists are actually doing that. They are like putting the whole world into intervention. Like, yo man, we think this is fucked up. We think you are addicted to the wrong things, because you can see the things that are happening, right? You can see how fucked up the world is, and you keep on bringing children, more and more children, to be slaves. For what? What is the point? Can you really justify this? You can't. You're just a victim, you see. Hey guys, my name is Benedictinos El Vegano, and this is my entry for the annual Why I'm an Antinatalist competition. When did I realize I did not want to have children? It was September 2018. I don't remember the date, but I asked myself, if I die and get an offer to come back, will I take it? And no matter what kind of life I was able to envision for myself, I knew I would never take the offer. Then it hit me. If I wouldn't want to come back here, no matter what, then why would I bring someone here? Why would I bring a child into a world that I hate? That's when I realized I don't want to have children. My whole life I wanted to have children, but that epiphany changed everything for me. I knew it would have been very selfish to bring a sentient being in a world that is so cruel and unkind that I wouldn't ever want to come back to it, even if I was guaranteed the greatest life possible. We like to act as if we are better than other animals, that we are good people. Every person in the world thinks they are good, but the truth is we are driven by evolution. We are attracted to people who have desirable characteristics. Therefore, we are cold and unkind to those we feel are not attractive, and not only when it comes to relationships, but in all aspects of life. And that is where life becomes complicated, because we are biased towards and against people based on how they look, how they talk, what kind of clothes they wear, how much money they make. And it's because of that that many people are selfish, because we all want to be loved, and we know that in order to be loved we need to be more attractive than a lot of people. We need to have more money than a lot of people. So how are we going to help one another if that means they can be better than us, and we might not get the love and the respect and the attention that comes with being at the top? There's a song called Demons by Imagine Dragons. There's a line in that song that says, no matter what we breed, we are still made of greed. And I think that is very true. No matter what we have or will have, we will still want more. That's why we are never satisfied. And that causes more and more needless suffering, because we have reached a point in our evolution where we can focus on enjoying ourselves, but we are still slaves of evolution. We still want to make more money than we make. We still want to be better than everyone. We still want to be worshipped. So we'll never be happy. And with the rise of technology, things are only going to become worse. I see people choose greed over truth and love. By love, I mean understanding. I mean compassion. I mean empathy. I see people hate people who care about them because they are attracted to people who are not even attracted to them because of evolution. Or should I say evolution, because it's a very evil process. Letting go of everything that evolution compels us to want is a sign of strength, not a weakness. People would reproduce even if the world was on fire because they are too weak to let go. So you can't say antinatalists are weak when they are fighting what you are too powerless to fight against. I heard Jordan Peterson say, life is hard, get over it. That's like saying drugs are bad, get over it. Yes, life is hard, but that's what antinatalists are saying. It is hard, and people only want it because they are addicted to it. The same way drug addicts feel like they need drugs, but do they? We need to become more and more conscious to realize that existence in this world is not a positive thing. We need to let go of our need for survival brought about by years of evolution. This is not good. We are all prisoners of our own egos, our needs and wants, our desires. The things that we desire are what making life hard for us and other people. Therefore, becoming strong enough to conquer our desires is a good thing. And that includes the most powerful desire that all humans have, which is the desire to reproduce. I'm an antinatalist because I don't see how it's a good thing to bring someone innocent into this prison. I mean, if I was addicted to drugs and they were making things worse for me, will giving someone those drugs make me a selfless or a selfish person? If I lived in a village where they torture people and someone wanted to come and live in the village, will preventing them from coming into the village make me a selfish or a selfless person? We need to accept the truth. Life sucks and it will continue to suck. That's not the conversation we want to have, because we have lied to ourselves so much that the truth seems taboo. We are torturing ourselves and others, and they are doing the same to us. This is the best example of a torture chamber. No one is really happy. We like to act as if we are, because we are competing with one another. And if they realize we ain't happy, that would make them feel better, because they don't want us to be happy. We just want to torture one another. There's a reason why kids are the greatest bullies, because seeing other kids hurting makes them happy. Now tell me, how is that a good thing? Why bring someone innocent into a place like this? A place where no matter how hard they suffer, they can never be allowed to live. They will be forced to continue to suffer. Why are they forced? It's because it's a torture chamber. That's what it is. If it wasn't, they would be allowed to live, since they did not sign any agreement with anyone that they shouldn't be allowed to leave. They are not here by choice, so forcing them to stay and suffer is the cruelest thing ever. Because the people who force other people to stay here, people who think assisted suicide should remain illegal in the countries that it's still illegal, most of them believe death penalty is a good thing, while most criminals became criminals because of circumstances. Some were abused badly by the same kind of people who believe they should be executed. I remember some guy that was interviewing Charles Manson in prison said, "You guys belong on a death row or a condemned row if there is such a row." And Charles Manson said, "Most people in here are your reflections. They are your mistakes as a collective society." This ain't the kind of truth we're willing to accept. This ain't the kind of conversations we're willing to have. We don't want the world to see its true reflection. We want to protect ourselves and other people from the truth, because the truth will mean the end of the world. The truth would mean the end of life. So we act as if we know what's going on. We act as if we are on the right path. We act as if there's a meaning to all this. We create religions to further imprison ourselves, and now we judge people based on the ideas that we've invented to imprison ourselves. If some people refuse to be prisoners, we call them with all kinds of names. We treat them badly. We hate them. In fact, we used to kill them in the past. And this the kind of world you think is worth defending? When some kids are dying of hunger because you're too selfish to help? When unemployment rate is rising every year because of corrupt politicians? Where money runs everything? Where people choose money over truth? Where people who are the true victims are treated as perpetrators? Where the justice system is designed to make lawyers money? Where prisons are created for the poor? Where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Where celebrities are being paid to dumb down your children? Where schools train your kids how to be effective slaves? Where they genetically modify diseases? Where they create fake pandemics to control the masses? Where as soon as you are born they own you? Where they censor truth because it's offensive? Where people die horrible, painful deaths, and for what? Where the truth is kept secret? Where many people are still slaves but don't see it because of the chemicals that they put in their food and water? Where people are made to fight one another? I'm an internatalist because I don't believe anyone can do this to people they love. I've already explained what I mean by love. I'm not talking about a chemical reaction in the brain here. I'm talking about truth. I'm talking about compassion. I'm talking about empathy. This world is really sick and it's about to get worse. And there's nothing we can do. Bringing more kids will only make things worse.